I'm LaKeshia.
Hey, I'm Natalie.
And this is Life Cracks Us Up. All right, Natalie. So we've known each other for a while now.
What's a while?
We met at the job. Let's see. I've been gone 15 years. So we've known each other about 18. Gee, we've known each other almost as long as I've been married.
Oh my gosh, and that's so true because I remember your wedding pictures.
Oh yeah, because you didn't get invited. I didn't know you like that.
I did not.
I didn't know you like that.
I did not.
Okay.
But your pictures were beautiful, and I remember I commented. I was like, "Oh, your husband is handsome," and you were like,
Don't look at my man.
Yep.
Don't look at my man.
Yep.
Okay.
Day one. So I already knew that.
That's been about 18 years. So to say that to say it's been about 18 years. Yes.
That set the tone.
Yeah. So I remember we worked in the same unit, but we were in the same unit, but we didn't know each other.
No.
Until I had
you kept to yourself.
Yes, that's how I liked it. I don't like people, but I remember I had to get my car. Something had to be done with my car, and I needed to get a ride to work.
Yeah.
So our supervisor asked you, because we both lived in the same city, which is
and
not the same city that we worked in.
Right? Yeah, we had to travel.
Yes. So I think she asked you if I could get a ride.
She pulled me to the side and she said, "Hey, one of your teammates is having some car trouble. I know that you all reside on the same side. Would you mind if she rides with you?" I said, "I carpool, but I'm sure the guys will say yes." I said it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. So I was real apprehensive. Didn't want to do that, but I needed that job. So you picked me up. And you're from New York. Y'all drive a little different up there. I was holding on to the old shit handle.
I need you all to know that not only was she holding on to the old shit handle, she got in the car with knitting yarn and needles.
You know what? First of all.
So as we're riding and we're all cracking jokes, Keisha's in the back quietly knitting scarf, mittens, sweaters, socks.
Point of order. I was crocheting.
All I heard was click, 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 click. That's what I heard. I knew somebody's baby somewhere was going to be really happy. That's what I knew. That started what is today one of my most meaningful friendships. That right there.
Aww.
So thank you, manager, who finally retired.
Yes. Oh gosh. Yes. We didn't talk about her another time. Oh my gosh.
Didn't think she'd ever leave.
Piece of work.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. Brought us together.
Yes, she did.
Oh, we still together. They're lovely. So aside from you being from New York, which the New York, how'd you get here?
So I started life in a very small town about an hour north of Manhattan. I was there till I left for college when I was about 19. I went to college in Illinois, graduated from college with my bachelor's in paralegal studies. Have never, ever, not ever worked as a paralegal. But after graduation, I moved to Miami. I stayed in Miami for a couple of years. After Miami, I went to, I don't know. I know I've lived in Miami. I've lived in West Virginia. Eventually, I ended up back in New York for a little while. So I was working for a company where I was actually doing pretty well, jumping up the ranks a little bit. 9/11 hit. Our corporate and towers and all that stuff were in one of the trade centers. So after that happened, we had a huge layoff. I was part of the layoff. So I was collecting unemployment. And I figured, while I'm collecting unemployment, stay unemployed.
Right.
I mean, I was making pretty good money off of my unemployment due to the circumstances. So my other friend and I used to come back and forth to Newport News to visit my cousin who was living down here at the time. After a few visits, I went back to New York one time and I was like, "Hey, you want to move to Virginia?"
Okay.
And she said, "Yeah." So my mom and I drove down the following weekend. I found an apartment. We moved down here the following week, and I've been here ever since. Other than a year and a half that I relocated to Texas, right? But I came back. This is home. This is it. I've been here longer. I've been out of New York longer than I've been in New York.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm born and raised here. Well, yeah, born and raised here in Virginia. Um, yeah, my story is a lot different. I did not graduate from college. I tried a few, it didn't stick. So I ended up joining the military, actually. So yeah, I've lived in a few places too. I lived in Washington State. I lived in, let's see, I slept in Georgia for a little while. I did Texas for a little while. I did Germany twice and Hawaii, and yeah, came back to Virginia. Um, what is it? And for mine, when I got out of the military, I have to say, I've never collected unemployment. Biggest mistake in my life. I know, right? I was like, what? I know. I was like, how did I not? I mean, because I had been working since I was like 14. Did a little, see, what is it, babysitting. I worked at summer camp for a minute, so I hadn't worked. So when I got out of the military, I figured I'm supposed to have a job,
right?
So I got a job in Northern Virginia, as a matter of fact, and worked there for a year. And that I didn't know how to live outside of the military. I found out it was like military is like welfare, like everything is provided to you.
Right.
Like I didn't even know how to put where to work because
wow.
I was looking for a uniform. I was looking for uniforms. Like I need a uniform to go to work. I don't know what I'm doing, so I could only stay there for a year because I ran out of money. Like,
yeah.
So I came back down here. It's like a 3-hour trip, but I've been making it like every other weekend to come see family. And so I knew I needed another job. And again, Northern Virginia is very expensive. And I just come out of the military. That was the only other job I had. So I applied for a job down here at the company we met. And when they called me and told me how much they were offering, I'm like, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. So I looked around a little bit more and I was like, oh, I think that was a good offer.
Yeah.
So I came down here one time, went to the office at the reception. I was like, can I talk to somebody about maybe y'all talking to me again about working here? I need a job.
I initially said no, but I've had time to think about it.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that is exactly what happened. I came, what is it, a walk of shame?
Yeah.
I was like, can I please have that job now? So yeah, so that's how I got back in this area. But I wanted to come back because my family's here. My grandma was here.
Right.
It was crazy because I was trying to get out because grandma was older. And I was like, I got to hurry up and get home for my grandma passed, whatever. I got out. She lived like another 10, 12 years. Granny was just doing
You had a little more time to travel.
But I was glad to be here. Like I said, I lived in Northern Virginia. I was down here every other weekend coming to see her.
Yeah.
So I was glad. I'm glad I did move down here. And then if I hadn't, I would have never met you.
See there.
We wouldn't be together now.
You and me.
It's never fun.
My key doctor.
So where has life brought us to now? So, I mean, first of all, I'm gonna say like we are very similar, as a matter of fact. Like our birthday is 30 days apart. Yeah, yep. October 1st, October 30th, same year, everything. Family life's a little different.
Family life is different but the same.
Yeah.
So you're married, happily married.
Yes.
I'm happily single.
Yes.
And I'll say happily using air quotes because sometimes it's super dope. Other times I'm like, sure would like somebody to help out with these household bills and these damn kids, which is another thing we have in common. We both, them damn kids, we both have children that from other parents, from other biological sponsors that we now take care of and raise. Mine are adopted.
Mine's adopted. By somebody, not me, but
they're both right. So
in your care.
Yes, it's in my care.
Right. So we have very similar day-to-days.
Yes.
Because
we were empty nesters. I mean, I don't know if that's to say if we didn't have them in there to begin with.
It was.
But we were having a good old time. We got together. Yeah, do whatever, whenever.
Went to dinner whenever we wanted to. Right? Got home whenever we wanted to.
Whatever.
Now I got to bring food home because I got other mouths to feed.
No, because I feel because when you got yours before I got mine, I was a little hot. I ain't gonna lie. It's like I can't have a conversation with you without you talking to the kid. Mm-hmm. You can't just get up and go because you got a kid. Like, I don't even like this.
Yes, it changed life dramatically.
But I forgot. I also had a little one beforehand.
You did.
I did.
That's right.
Yeah.
The grandson.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And you were taken to preschools and daycares. So we did start similar in that sense because when my oldest daughter came to live with me, she was 4. So I was happy because She could sit in the bathtub by herself. I still had to be there, but I didn't actually have to, hold her up and all that good stuff.
Girl, my grandbaby get out the shower, I get him out the tub. He be butt naked. I put him on the bed, turn around, that little joker start jumping all around the bed. So he can't catch me, can't catch me. Like, oh. But I must say, I am proud of myself that I never forgot him in the car.
Look at you. Look at you doing big things.
No, I almost drove him to work one day.
But he didn't
He didn't stay. I got across the bridge, looked up in the rear view. I was like, oh shit.
There's a baby back there.
It's like, oh my God, at least you didn't have to do daycare. Oh my gosh. Daycare. Like he had been like just at home. My mom actually watched him first, went to daycare, and I swear, if he didn't pick up every germ.
Petri dish.
Yes.
It's a petri dish. That's what I call school.
Oh,
daycare,
gosh.
schools, everything. First of all, daycare, all they do is lick shit. That's it. And if no one's standing there to watch over them, they just hand it to the next kid. Then they lick it. And then it just goes around the whole. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So yeah.
I think I've come to realize that my well-being takes a back seat to theirs. At the same time, I have to keep myself healthy so I can keep them healthy. Yeah. But apparently they come first, right? So I'm having an issue with my shoulder. I've been having this issue for at least a year. And I'm talking about to the point where I can't lift it sometimes.
So how you beat them?
The right hand's fine. The right hand's fine. The right hand's fine. Right hand's fine.
Okay, go ahead.
So I keep making these appointments, right, with the orthopedic doctor, sports medicine, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to make myself sound super old using the word orthopedic, but sports doctor. So I made all of these appointments, appointment. But every time it comes about time for the appointment, something happens with one of the girls and I have to cancel my appointment. So the other day I said to my oldest, I was like, just kind of venting, like, oh man, I had to cancel this appointment again because such and such. And her response was literally shrugged her shoulders and went, oh, not like, I think I was expecting, oh man, well, what are you going to do? Dang, I hope it feels better. Oh. At the same time, we were on our way to Burger King for me to buy them some food. Oh. That's ridiculous.
Oh, that's crazy. But I had one too. And she was like, well, you asked for it or something like that. And I was like, I don't think so. I don't think that's not how I remember it. That's not how I remember it. Because I always say that parenting is hard if you do it right.
Very true.
Because I seen them.
That's very true.
They got people out there just doing big things. The hair, the nails, everything, and the kid's snotty.
Mm-hmm. Like, the truer statement could not be made.
I know, but sacrificing.
It is.
Oh,
everything is a sacrifice, and you're right. If it's being done correctly, it's a sacrifice. That's very true. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. While we're doing that, how about you like, share, follow, and subscribe?
Yeah, but you're right. They the way they interpret things, like the one I got here is in trouble for some stuff, and she was like, she texted me, she's like, I'm so sorry, da 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 da. Which she's always sorry she got caught.
I gotta cut in real quick. How old is she?
15.
And I heard you say text. She has a phone.
Yeah.
See the benefits of that. Just wanted to throw that out there. 15 with her own phone.
Okay, but it gets better. She was like, I'm sorry I did this. I'll do extra chores around the house. I'll even wash your car, but please don't take my phone. Okay. So me, I'm trying to like you said, save my sanity. Because usually I take the phone so long I forget what I took it for. This time, I'm not gonna take the phone. I got an app on there that can track her usage and everything. So I set the usage for 2 hours a day. 2 hours usually, and I turn it off. So she gonna text me the other day, saying, "Can you take the limit off?" I ignored it. So the next day when it comes back on, she's like, "Can you take the limit off?" And I text back, "This is a complete sentence." I text back, "No." And then later when I pick her up, because they were at camp, they were a little weekend, a sleepover. I want to go such and such a place. I was like, "No." Why? Why do you think you should?
Right.
You are grounded. You're not. I didn't take your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not out there digging ditches.
Yeah.
You should be in trouble. You should
Yeah.
be just saying thank you. That's the only word to come out your mouth. But it's just why?
Yeah. And you know what else I've learned, because I've got two in my house. Now I do need to say, and I need to make this very clear, my children are my children. It was my choice. I made a decision to adopt my children and have the life that we have. And I wouldn't change it for the world. And I would do it again 1,000 times. I would not change that. But I have two totally different personalities in my house. And I mean that. And mine is a third personality. So it's like Sybil in there. I have a 16-year-old going on 17 who is mean as shit. Like most of the time. I'm not going to say all the time, because it's not all the time, but a lot. She kind of stays to herself, and I talk to other parents who have teenagers, and they kind of say the same thing. So I'm not like concerned with her mental state or anything like that, but she can be shitty. My 11-year-old, who just turned 11 on Friday, by the way, she tries to be super nice to the 16-year-old, but because she's just shitty by nature, it kind of goes unnoticed. So I kind of feel sorry for her sometimes, because she's trying to get that big sister relationship, and because of their age gap, it's not there, and they didn't grow up together. So my oldest came to me when she was 4. My youngest came to me when she was 7, 5. Shit, it all runs together. I feel like it's been forever.
Yeah.
But they've got an age gap. So two totally different personalities. Now, I'm an older parent of teenagers. So my personality and my way of doing things is still back there. So I had to bring my personality to meet their personality, just so we all survive each day.
And I just had that conversation the other day about that. Like, is it because I'm so far removed that I'm so much older than her? Because like I said, we're the same age. The kids, our oldest, are a year apart. But I was talking to you about like how, when we were kids, our parents would say different stuff. Like, go out that gate if you want to. And we knew that meant not to go.
Right.
You say that to the kids today,
and
you
they
find
go
on the other side. It's like, but you told me to go
Yes.
if I wanted to, and I wanted to, so I went.
Yeah.
And you just want to choke them.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to do a little bit of a shift. But I was saying, I'm tired. I'm old. I'm tired. Do I care? Should I care? Is it wrong to just let us
go out the gate?
Right? It's like, do I just let you do what you want to do?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So
it's also, society makes it difficult for older parents to raise younger children.
Yeah.
I feel like I am such, like I said, old school. I didn't get beat a lot as a child. I truly did not. But I got spankings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I did something wrong, oh my gosh, my dad had this chair he used to sit me in, and that was like the worst. But, I got spanked.
Yeah.
That was normal in the 70s, even in the 80s.
Yeah.
Now, literally, my child told me I was abusive. I was like, I plucked you in the lip because you rolled your eyes. Like, what are you talking about right now? But being older and trying to raise kids now, the other thing about it is I have friends who raised kids years ago. So their kids are grown now. But they're telling me, if that was me, I'd do such and such. Oh, if that was me, that never would have went down in my house. Yeah. Raise a kid now and tell me what you would or wouldn't do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Talk to me, baby. Converse with me now. We would love to hear what you have to say. I know we're not the only ones who finds life funny. Shoot us an email. Give us a comment. We'd be more than happy to respond.
So, what's on your mind? Does life crack you up like it cracks us up? We want to hear about it.
When your kids talk to you, what will you do?
Right.
Right. That's the part.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Because I'm one of those people. I have an older kid, and that was the thing. It's like, I'd jack her up in a minute. Yeah. But back to what you said about when we were kids. Yeah, kids today are so different. My grandma, we lived in an apartment complex, and they had like some woods back there. Act up if you want to. She will send you out there to get your own switch. And it better not be a little one. But even worse than that, my granddad had a stroke. So he only had the use of one side of his body. He had a blue yardstick he kept in the closet. He can barely even talk. He's like, get my stick, get my stick. So we stupid kids go to the closet, get him the yardstick, give it to him, and stand there and let him hit us. Like, how stupid could you be?
Yeah.
You didn't have to run fast to get away from him.
Right.
But we were obedient kids. And the
Yeah.
trouble that we got into isn't so much, the trouble the kids get into today. It was still, so different. Because like today, I think our parents are scared of us maybe hurting ourselves physically, falling out, whatever. But these kids today, with these friends in air quotes online, I am afraid. I tell her all the time, that's not a 16-year-old you're talking to. That's a 42-year-old man.
Gosh.
I'm gonna need you to stop getting so involved with this mess on this cyber world you live in.
Yeah. My youngest is so restricted with internet for that exact same reason. The games, and that's the other difference from, of course, when we were younger and the kids now, we didn't have internet.
Yeah.
Internet is the devil, by the way. I appreciate everything we're doing here today and everything I hope for this to bring
on the internet.
Right.
internet. That's
why.
And I appreciate everything that's happening here today, and I appreciate what this is hopefully going to bring to my life. However, our content is not such that it will harm people.
Right.
That's my problem with the internet and children. It's just there.
Yeah.
You can get to anything
all the time.
Yeah.
Anytime, all the time. And they're not mature enough to decipher, what to keep and what to throw away.
Right.
That's the thing. They're so what's the word? Influenceable.
Yeah.
I always forget. Yeah, they take it all in and it's
Yeah.
all real
Yeah.
to them. And
Yeah.
and we can't convince them that it's not.
Oh my gosh. Try telling my youngest a mermaid is not in the Chesapeake Bay. I'm sure there's something out there that
wants
said
to be. Well, when she came, she wanted to be a mermaid.
a mermaid. Yeah.
Right.
But I had to kind of contour my life to kind of figure out, who am I raising? Who do I want this child to be?
Yeah.
When they're an adult?
Yeah.
How do I tailor my day to day to make sure I have responsible children?
Yeah, and that's my goal too, because I've even through this is my third iteration of parenting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I am not the huggy, kissy. I'm not gonna kiss your boo boo. I'm gonna tell you walk it off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me, because I feel like I have responsibility to the world. I need to put something out
Absolutely.
there that's gonna be a contribution, not
Absolutely.
a drain. So I said, I'm planting a seed. I can't make her do what I want to do. I want to so bad, like just shake. Like, how old can you? I know you're not supposed to shake a baby, but when can you start shaking? When can you start shaking them? But I just want her to just take it all in. But all I can do is keep feeding it to her, and hopefully one day it'll sprout. You'd be like, oh, that's what she was talking about. Because I'm just so worried for what our future is going to hold. Because when we get much older, we're going to depend on these jokers.
We're depending on
to
them.
run the world.
Absolutely.
So I just really try to. I've always said I want to create good citizens.
Right.
And that's really what I want to do. Because, like you said, you chose yours. I did not.
Right.
I was not, I didn't know I was party to creating this for myself.
Yeah. When you were getting all that stuff
for somebody else.
Yeah,
Right. I thought I was helping somebody else.
Yeah, you never thought that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Thought I was just, walk away, get my job, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
But evidently there's something more to it out there that's I'm supposed to do in this world. So I'm embracing it, talk to God a lot. We have a lot of deep conversations.
Mm-hmm. And I feel you on that, because I did not have biological children. I did not have biological children on purpose. I made it so that I did not have children because I always knew I did not want that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed my freedom too much. Now, and I'm sure this is something we'll touch on later on, I was a promiscuous teen into adulthood. I was that was my shit. Like, you want to do it? Let's do it. Like, okay. But I made sure I did not have children. So the fact that I have children is pretty amazing. So I'm in agreement with you. This is something that God set out for me because I never saw myself. And this is something that the kids tell me all the time. You actually touched on this before, where the kids say, oh, you chose this. My kids crack me up because I'll say something like, oh my gosh, who has kids on purpose? Who plans this and who has kids on purpose? And they tell me all the time, you chose this. You had a choice and you chose it. See. So I'm like I said, 1,000% in agreement. What I try to do with my kids now is build character. I tell them all the time, especially my oldest, because she's going to be a senior next year. She'll be off to maybe college. She hasn't determined whether or not she wants to go to college, and I don't feel like college is for everyone.
No,
So
that.
I
I
would
learned
not
that too.
exactly. I will not force her to go to
Mhm.
college. She doesn't think she wants to go into the military, and that's fine too. But my question to her is, what's your plan?
Yes.
I am raising her so that she's independent. Even if you don't go to college, you don't go to military, have a career path in mind and
Mhm.
stick to that. I don't want her to be so quick to get into a relationship and start, date by all means. I'm not saying do what I did, but date, experience life.
Yeah.
I tell her all the time, find like-minded friends. Find friends who want to travel. Find friends who want to see the world. Stick to them people. Jesus, you know how I am about
your grammar
and punctuation. But yes, find like-minded people and experience life before you get bogged down with family life and those kind of responsibilities. Because once them babies start coming, all that other shit is just that shit.
Right.
They're thoughts you had,
memories
and regrets because you didn't do anything. But all you can do is what you can do. And then pray that when they leave your house, they're responsible citizens.
They're leaving soon, right? They're leaving soon.
Girl,
count
down.
Count down.
Count down. Count down. But I say it all the time, though. I would do this 1,000 times over. Each time I would probably learn something different and I would do things differently. But the end result, I hope to always be the same. Responsible, productive citizens, and just a way that just so that they live a happy life. I said, you don't even have to, your goal shouldn't be to be mega rich. Your goal should just to be comfortable. If you want to go on vacation, you should be able to go into your bank account and go on vacation. Not like I have to do sometimes, put money aside for the three of us to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's you're right. Like I said, to be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's the big thing I'm trying to do. So like you said, whatever it is you decide to do, I need you to be able to take care of yourself, to depend on no one. Yeah. So whatever that's going to look like, I'm excited to see.
Yeah. And also just parenting in general. What we do is going to mold how they treat their children. Mm-hmm. It's learned behavior. Mm-hmm. So if they're in a situation where I try to keep the lines of communication open, they don't talk to me, but they know they can if they needed to. I hope that's what I've put out there. Yeah. I hope that my parenting style has at least kept the lines of communication open, that when they feel like it, they can knock on my door, which they don't, by the way. I have a bathroom inside of my bedroom. I can be in there shitting and they will walk right in and stand at the bathroom door and talk to me until it's time for me to wipe my ass. And I got to say, can you go so I can do what I got to do? Literally, I have to ask them to leave so I can wipe my ass.
Okay. Well, but we don't have that relationship. I go back there to get away. Yeah, because I got the bathroom.
You got how many doors?
I got 3 doors back there. I closed them all. And go to the toilet room and get my quality time in.
I think maybe I'm a little too close to them because I walk around like I don't put clothes on sometimes. I do laundry naked. Like I think we're just, but it's just the three of us. Yeah. It's just the estrogen in the house.
Yeah, that's. I have a problem with that because I can't do that. But again, that goes back to parenting. I mean, my mom, she dressed from head to toe to go to bed. Yeah. I was like, so I got surprised my husband see me naked.
Learn behavior.
Right, exactly. Because like my daughter, she's more free in her house. Mm-hmm. But here, like I said, doors are closed all the time. I wish I was able to be a little more free. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's another thing. Like I said, it's all learned, So you're right. You have to think about who you're making, whatever decisions you're doing, whatever decisions you're making in front of them. Believe me, whether they seem like they're paying attention or not, they are.
They're listening.
They are.
They are listening.
So I mean, so you're doing a good job. God's still working on me. But she's alive. I mean, that's the best I can do some days.
I think we're great.
Oh, really?
I do. I think we are great.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm sure that everyone can find room for improvement. Now, that's not to say I don't close my door, go in my closet and cry every now and again, because I do. This is stressful. Like, I think about, what these kids have to go through. I would not want to be a teenager in this day and
heck
age.
no.
I would not
Heck
want
no.
it.
Mm-mm.
And I think about what they have to go through, and sometimes that stresses me. But yeah, just being a single parent, this shit is hard, yo. Like, this shit is hard.
I can't imagine because I'm not a single parent, and this is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, I don't go in the closet and cry because I paid a therapist to listen.
that's my next appointment that I keep canceling for myself.
I was like, look, I don't know what to do because I don't want to do it because I'm selfish with that. Like I said, I got to this point in my life, my child was out of the house, grandchild out of the house. I'm free. I want to be me, do whatever I want to do. But yet I know the right thing to do for the child.
Right.
Is to do this.
Yeah.
So that was a struggle. That is a struggle.
Continues.
But again, like I said, I have to do, like I said, parenting is hard if you do it right. I have to do what's right for this child. Because if I just toss her off, then, you toss her to the wolves, you don't know what the world's going to do to her out there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. So since we've kind of gotten going and things are moving in the right direction here, this is going to be a place where people can come, listen to our shit, relate to it, maybe sometimes give us ideas on how we can fix our shit.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe we're giving some guidance to people on how to fix their shit. But this forum is going to be that space for everyone. I think everyone will get something from what we talk about.
I concur. So maybe I might be able to cancel my next therapy appointment. Shoot, do this right here.
Everything off of one another. Yeah. Everything off of one another.
Because you're right. Because this stuff is out here, but that's why
life cracks us up.